How's it going, gamers? You got TigerChainsaw, and today is the day. It is a video that I am so excited to do, and it is covering one of the most special and most important games to me from my childhood. Quest for Glory, So You Want to Be a Hero, the VGA edition, is probably one of the 4 core games that I will always hold on to and think about my childhood. This game is so nostalgic and special to me. I'm wearing a Sierra Entertainment shirt, all because of them. I remember playing this game so much as a kid, and I played it a ton because I did not have a console to myself growing up. I had the Sega Master System, but that was pretty outdated when I was growing up. I didn't get a PS1 until 4th grade, so before 4th grade, I had a Game Boy, a Master System, and I had our computer. And our computer had a couple games on it, and one of these games was Quest for Glory. And I have so many memories, and I'm really excited to share all of them, along with my thoughts on Quest for Glory. So that's going to be today's review. Now, if you are a first-time viewer or if you just haven't yet, go ahead, hit that sub button, because I've got so many types of game reviews on this channel, ranging from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, all the way up to the PS5 and the Switch. So you hit that sub button, you can catch all of those game reviews, and they're all about different games, different genres, point-and-click adventures, JRPGs, fighting games, racing games, you name it. I have covered it on this channel. So hit that sub button, it helps me grow. All right, let's go to the town of Spielberg and explore one of my most nostalgic games from my childhood. Point-and-click adventure games were popular in the 1980s and the early 90s. The king, and I mean the absolute king of them, was Sierra, who developed and produced the series of Quest for Glory, King's Quest, Space Quest, and Leisure Suit Larry. In 1989, Sierra released the first installment of Quest for Glory for the MS-DOS. A few years later, in 1992, Sierra re-released an upgraded graphics version titled Quest for Glory, So You Want to Be a Hero. It is this version that I will be reviewing today, and what a treat it is. Hut of Brown, now sit down and watch this Quest for Glory review. Let's go ahead and start with the plot, but be warned, spoilers are ahead. Quest for Glory is shrouded in German lore and fairy tales. You are an unnamed hero looking to prove yourself. After seeing a flyer asking for help in the town of Spielberg, the hero decides to travel to the small town and see what all the fuss is about. After exploring the town, you realize that Spielberg is very much in trouble. 3 terrible things have befallen this sleepy town. 10 years prior, the Baron von Spielberg had attempted to drive out Baba Yaga, an evil ogress who lurks in the forest causing all sorts of trouble. After an unsuccessful attempt, Baba Yaga curses the town and the castle. Baron von Spielberg's 8-year-old daughter is abducted and disappears. The Baron searches for his daughter day after day with his men for years, but returns with fewer and fewer men each time as the surrounding area is full of monsters and brigands. Years pass and the Baron's son sets out for an early morning hunt with his guards, but he's separated from the group and never returns. His horse comes back with bear claw marks all over it, and everyone assumes the worst. The Baron falls into a deep depression and Spielberg suffers from it. The town is in need of a real hero. The hero enters the town searching for clues on solving a few different quests. Spielberg is full of wonderful characters who have unique personalities. It's not just humans that call Spielberg home. There are centaurs, mages, goons, and cat-like humanoids called Kata. Everyone plays a role in the story, and everyone has a story to tell. It is a wonderfully crafted town, one that I wish I could visit in real life. Slowly but surely, you start to put together the pieces of what has transpired in this town. The first of the 3 major quests that you need to solve is finding the Baron's son. Stumbling upon a cave with a bear that's chained up, you wander deeper in to find a kobold, which is a strange evil creature that practices magic. Defeat him and you'll be able to free the bear, who transforms into the Baron's son. With his son home, the Baron starts to regain hope that the hero may still be able to find his daughter and rid the land of Baba Yaga. After a few other side quests, you'll find yourself inside a brigand fortress. Making your way through their traps, the hero discovers the brigand leader is none other than Elsa von Spielberg, the Baron's daughter. She had been put under a spell from Baba Yaga, but with a special potion that the hero creates just before entering the fortress, you break her free of the curse. Leaving the lair of the brigands, you take a magic mirror, and with it, you visit Baba Yaga, who is looking to turn you into a frog. She tries to cast a spell, but you are too quick. You reflect the spell right back at her with that magical mirror, and you turn her into a frog that sends her brown hut on chicken legs flying far away from Spielberg, leaving everyone in peace. Our hero is crowned at the castle and is hailed as the hero of Spielberg. If you aren't aware of what a point-and-click adventure is, you are probably a young gamer. This genre of gaming was made popular with computers with the use of a mouse. There are several cursors at your disposal in Quest for Glory, and I used every single one of them during my playthrough. Using the eye cursor and clicking around your environment will give you descriptions of items, characters, the environment, and even make you aware of booby traps. A mouth cursor lets you speak with characters, bringing up dialogue boxes with subjects to ask about. A hand cursor will pick up items or open doors, and the character cursor will let the hero walk in the direction that you click it. Everything is extremely well written, from all the puns, jokes, and detailed descriptions of every nook and cranny in the game. Roberta and Ken Williams did help shape the game, but Corey and Lori Ann Cole directed this masterpiece. The attention to detail is second to none. Every screen is filled with colorful items, blades of grass, beautiful melodies, and of course, secrets galore. Exploring the land of Spielberg is a treat, but when doing so, you better be prepared. You'll face brigands, goblins, and plenty of monsters in battle. When you're exploring the surrounding environment around Spielberg, there will be monsters walking around. If you run into one of these, a battle screen will occur. On this screen, you can click a few options to drain the health bar of the opponent. For example, if you have a sword, you can click stab or swing, but your enemy is always moving, ducking behind a shield or swaying back and forth, waiting to strike you. You must know when to strike to do damage, and you must not swing wildly or else your stamina will drain. If you tire yourself out, you'll die from exhaustion. But I gotta tell you, dying is part of the fun in Quest for Glory. Each death comes with a funny recap of where you went wrong, and there's hundreds of ways to die, each one scolding you or with a joke. Just make sure to save your game often, and the game lets you save whenever you want. I recommend having multiple save files. Now here's where Quest for Glory really separates itself from other point-and-click adventure games. Quest for Glory offers 3 different hero choices. You can choose to be a fighter, swinging your sword and ducking behind a shield as you fight every monster in your path, fearless as they try and kill you. But perhaps you'd like to be a thief, lurking in the dark corners, breaking into homes, and stealing valuables as you strike your opponents with your dagger. Not into fighting or stealing, you do have a third option of playing as the magic user, who's a spellcaster who can shoot flaming darts, float objects, and unlock secret compartments. Each hero has a few different subquests that you can play through, making multiple playthroughs a must. You'll experience different secrets, dialogues, and puzzles to solve. Have I gushed enough about this game? Probably not. It's one of my all-time favorite games. It's one of the first games I ever remember playing, and I put hundreds of hours into it as a kid. The puzzles were sometimes a little bit too advanced for me as a young kid, but it was just so much fun to watch my hero walk around on the screen and talk to other characters, battle monsters, and yes, even die. Whenever my grandpa would come to visit, I'd boot up the computer and show him what I was doing in the game. It is one of the 4 core games from my childhood, and I truly love it. It's a game that I try and do a playthrough of every year, and when you know exactly what you need to do for each quest, you're probably looking at a 2-hour run. If you want the most complete experience of a point-and-click adventure game that's the perfect introduction into the genre, you must play the first Quest for Glory, but make sure it's the VGA remake. This is a true masterpiece, especially for the time that it came out. If you love adventure, clever puzzles, putting together clues, and battling various monsters, then perhaps you too want to take the Quest for Glory. I did, and I couldn't have enjoyed it anymore. This is an essential game for your computer collection, and I highly encourage you purchase it off GOG. Does my nostalgia for the game skewer the score a bit? Yeah, I'm sure it does, and frankly, I don't care. Quest for Glory, So You Want to Be a Hero, scores a perfect 10 out of 10, making this a god tier game. Everything from the writing, the funny jokes, the character designs, the battling mechanics, all the secrets, going from screen to screen, hearing the beautiful music play in the background, and choosing what cursors you want to use to point your adventure toward next is flawless. Quest for Glory, So You Want to Be a Hero, exemplifies everything that a point-and-click adventure should be. Gamers, that is my review of Quest for Glory, So You Want to Be a Hero, the VGA remake from 1992. To me, yeah, my nostalgia plays a huge role in this, but it's a perfect 10 out of 10. I absolutely adore this game for the memories that it helped create, for playing it with my grandpa, and honestly, it helped shape me as a gamer. As I said in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of game systems when I was a young kid, so I had to play what I had, and that was Quest for Glory on the computer, and I'm so thankful for it. Now, what's really cool is that I actually got to interview the creators of Quest for Glory. I interviewed Lori Ann Cole and her husband Corey, and they were just a blast to talk to. They were so sweet, they were so kind-hearted, and it was hilarious talking to them because they bicker nonstop. They are an old married couple, and it was just so charming and fun to talk to them and hear their memories about Quest for Glory. So that is another special memory that I associate with this game. Now, I'd love to hear from you guys. I clearly like Sierra. I've reviewed Mystery House. I have now reviewed Quest for Glory, but I want more computer games to review by Sierra. Could you guys recommend me a couple? Leave me a comment below and let me know what are some of the best Sierra games that you enjoy, and if you've played Quest for Glory, let me know your thoughts and memories of it. I want to know everything. I assure you, no comment is too long. I want to hear what you think about all the characters and your adventures in the town of Spielberg. Gamers, if you haven't yet, go ahead, hit that sub button. It helps me grow, and I've got tons of game reviews on this channel. Speaking of which, I just reviewed Harvest Moon on the Super Nintendo. Definitely not a point-and-click adventure game, but it was a trailblazer for the farming simulator genre. That review is coming up next. Gamers, thanks for watching, and make sure you play a video game today.